So this video was requested by one of my friends. It's basically the tea of what it's like to work at a Hollister and what personally happened to me in my experience with the company. And if anyone from Hollister watches this video, fuck Hollister. To start things off, I applied to Hollister around, I'd say around like September. There wasn't a Hollister in my mall, so they were building a brand new one. So that means that they had to hire brand new employees, you know, like everyone was brand new. I applied online and then I got a call, let me think, like maybe a week after. So I got a call and he was basically like, hey, would you like to have an interview here? And I was like, sure. I went on the day of my interview and it was a group interview. For my group, there was only around 4 people in it. The interview went really well. I did really good and I ended up getting a call like 2 days after saying that I got the job and if I wanted to work there. And I was like, hell yeah, because I hate my job now and of course I wanted to work there. What I didn't know is that they were hiring the whole damn Victor Valley. I think they probably hired around like 80 people. I don't know. They hired like too many people that they like even needed. It was just, they're like, okay, we'll let you know like how training's gonna work, blah, blah, blah. They were gonna open the week of Black Friday, okay? Everyone was getting called for training, but they were training at stores at other locations that were like 30 miles away, 40 miles away, 50 miles away. I never heard a call to get trained, so I was just like, okay. And then we had our orientation, right? 20 of us went to the new store and we got to see how it looked like before anyone else did. And we got our like our card thing and we like had to fill out some stuff about like how we're getting paid and like all that good stuff. And so I met like 20 people. They were like so cool, like amazing, besides like a few people that, yikes. We'll get there. Yeah, so I made like a lot of friends and we all like exchanged numbers and like just in case we needed someone to like cover us when we worked. So I never got called in to train, right? They scheduled me to work. The day they scheduled me to work was Black Friday. One of the very first few days that the store was opening, like the grand opening was the day before, and then they asked me to work the day after. So I wasn't trained yet. So I go into Hollister, you know, my first day, and it's fucking packed because it's Black Friday and like everyone's like, oh my god, we have a Hollister now, like we're gonna shop here. And so I walk in there, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like I wasn't taught anything. So someone that was working, I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to be trained, like what? And so they're like, oh, let me go get the manager. And that's the manager that I like knew that he was, yeah. So he sees me and he's like, hey, someone's gonna show you how to clock in. And then like, yeah. So I go in the back and people are like, you don't know how to clock in? And I'm like, no, I haven't worked. This is my first day working. And they're like, oh, okay. So then they show me how to clock in and that was that. And then I come back out. What do you want me to do? And the manager's like, oh, here's blah, 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 and she's gonna teach you something. And she was like, and I'm gonna show you how to fold a shirt. So she shows me how to fold a shirt, and she's like, great. And I'm like, what? She's like, okay, so just do this your whole shift. Go around the men's section and like just fix things and fold it. After showing me like once how to fold a shirt, my ass walking around the men's section and it's fucking packed and I'm like talking to the other people there. I'm like, hey, like what am I supposed to be doing? Like all I got taught was how to fold a shirt. And then they're all new. They're like, we don't know. Great. Fucking great. I'm just folding shirts, being useful, and then customers are just coming up to me asking me, hey, where can I find this? And I'm like, I wish I knew. What's the price on this? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, it's my first day. All I got taught was how to fold a shirt. So sorry, I can't help you, but like I'll find someone that can help you. That gave me like such bad anxiety. I was like, wow, I'm literally just standing here like, and people are asking me all these questions and I have no idea what to do. And I'm just here folding shirts. I had another friend, or like we became friends. He was my coworker and it was his first day too. You know what his job was? He was assigned to hold up a sign at the back of the line for 4 hours straight to indicate where the back of the line was. 4 hours holding a sign. Really, Hollister? Is that what we're doing here? My whole 4-hour shift, I was folding shirts and was pretty useless and walked around the store not knowing shit. While I was working, I literally was like, this is the worst job ever. I want to quit instantly. Like, I was like, I have so much potential and I'm just folding shirts. And to top that all off, one of the managers, she's like she's not that nice. We're gonna just say that. She comes over to where all the shirts are, you know, I'm trying. She's like, whoever is folding these is not folding them correctly. And like, obviously it's me because I'm the only fucking person in that section. And I'm just looking at her like, is this a joke? Ooh, I get so heated thinking about this, by the way. Like, okay. If you guys have seen Shane Dawson's conspiracy videos, he did a conspiracy video and it mentioned Hollister in it. And in the conspiracy video, he said that when the company was previously owned by this other guy, it was a very shady company. One, the guy was super arrogant and he only wanted attractive people working for him. And if you weren't attractive or cute or society's standard of what they think is good and who they think is cute and who they think is attractive, then you weren't working there. They would tell employees like, oh, only help the people in here that are attractive, don't go up to the ugly people, like only help these kind of people. And so the vibe of Hollister was very biased. Yeah, so you only got hired if you were cute and you only got helped if you were cute. So like, does that mean I was cute because I was hired? I don't know, because they hired the whole fucking high desert. That's besides the point. So he also mentioned that they would have Hollisters super dark, would play super loud music so you couldn't think, so you would buy their expensive items and you couldn't actually think about what you were spending. I believe that 100%. Apparently the company got sold and they're like working on that. So I was actually working the closing shift, so I actually only worked 3 hours of folding shirts. The store closed and they were like, okay guys, now time, everyone has to fold shirts. Everyone was fixing the displays and like folding the shirts and making it all neat. After that was done, we had to like just clean up around the store. I was like, okay, I'll clean the mirrors. I go into the back to get some like Windex and some paper towels, and tell me why there is no paper towels. There was utility wipes, whatever the fuck those are. So that's the only thing back there. So I was like, oh, I'll just grab a utility wipe or whatever. I'm like trying to clean the mirrors, you know, the big mirrors, and tell me why the utility wipes are making the mirrors look worse than they already were. And I'm trying so hard. I tried probably like 20 times cleaning one mirror and it was just getting worse and worse and worse. The manager that was working at the time, she's just watching me and she's like, do you not know how to clean a mirror? And I'm just like, do you see me trying? I was like, these utility wipes, there's literally no paper towels back there. These utility wipes are making it worse. And she was like, well, why don't you try something else? So I'm like, bitch. Okay, so I go into the back again, you know, I'm like, whatever, I'll find something else. And I find like this thing that you would clean your car with. It had like a padded thing on the other side that you would go like that. So I'm like, okay, maybe that will help to clean the mirrors. It didn't. I just got streak after streak after streak. And she looks at me and she's like, maybe you should do something else. Let someone else clean the mirrors because obviously you don't know how. And I'm like, honey. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I let the other people try to clean the mirrors. Tell me why. They can't fucking clean the mirrors either. They're literally getting like more streaks than I did. And I'm just like, this is where I sip the tea. By the way, the mirrors never got clean. We're just gonna leave it at that. The mirrors never got clean that night. She was just like, okay, we'll just leave them for the morning shift to clean. Honey, if you're a manager, then like, the management at Hollister is horrible. I'm just gonna say that. Not naming any names, but the management fucking sucks. I probably will never get hired at a Hollister ever again, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm okay with it. I wouldn't want to. Okay, so after that night, I was like, I fucking hate this job. Like, I want to quit, blah, blah, blah. But then I was like, I still want to work here. I didn't get scheduled after that. Weeks and weeks and weeks and months went by, and I didn't get scheduled. We had like a group chat of the ones that I met that one day at orientation, and all of us were like, are you getting hours? And they're like, no. Are you? And we're like, no. What the fuck? Like, what is happening? So basically, Hollister had its favorites, and we're constantly scheduling the same people that they like, and they had a group of us not even getting scheduled. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's so fucked up. Like, at least like schedule like us like one day, right? They told us when we were hired that we were part-time. Like, no one ever mentioned you were gonna be seasonal or like you're only gonna work one day, which is Black Friday. So we're all waiting around, waiting for hours. People even called like the manager and were like, hey, like, why aren't we getting any hours? And he's like, we're trying to work around everyone's schedule. How are you trying to work around everyone's schedule if no one is getting hours besides your favorite people? So that's the real question here, sir. I never like contacted them because I was just like, whatever, I fucking hate it there anyways, and I already have a job. So there's this one bitch in the group chat, and we're all complaining about like not getting hours and like it's fucked up that they're doing this to us, and she's one of the people that they like. She got like a few days every week. So we're all just talking, and she was like, well, you guys need to stop bitching. Maybe if you worked harder and showed them that you deserve to have hours, maybe you would get hours. And I'm like, honey. Oh, it took me everything I had to not go off on this girl. I was like, I'm sorry, did I not fold shirts fast enough that one day that they gave me the opportunity to work? And then the other guy that was holding the sign, he was like, maybe I didn't hold the sign high enough. And this bitch, she was like, well, maybe you guys are just shitty at what you do. Honey, we were only given one day to work, and that was our day of training. So why are you expecting us to be like the star employee when we weren't even trained properly? Yeah, so she's a bitch, whatever. And everyone was quitting left and right. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna quit because like I still want the discount. I didn't buy anything, by the way, so like I never even used the employee discount. One day, I get an email from Hollister in, I think it was like January, either late January or early February, and it's an exit survey. They never contacted me saying I was fired. They never gave me a reason why I was fired. The exit survey was like, why are you leaving us? Like, the exit survey was like, I quit, basically. So I don't know what management did. I don't know if they said that I quit, or I don't know if they fired me. So I write in the survey, I'm like, I didn't quit, question mark. And then they asked other questions, how was your experience? And I just went off. I was like, bad, the management is shitty, people don't know what they're doing, it's not organized. Like, honey, I went off. And then I found out almost everyone else got fired. So out of the 80 people that worked there, they probably fired around like 65 of us and only kept like a certain amount. I think that's pretty fucking shitty. Overall, my experience, I would say, is a 1 out of 10, and that's the worst place I've ever worked. And what's even more fucked up is, okay, the week after we're all fired, you know, I work in the mall, so like, I see shit happening. So I see the manager walking around, right? He has a group of people following him. One of the people I actually like recognize in the group, and I just know in my head, I'm like, bitch, is he really doing fucking interviews right now? So I give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, okay, maybe he's not doing interviews. Like, maybe, who knows what. And then I see the guy that was in the group, right, later on, and I'm like, hey, like, did you just have an interview for Hollister? Like, being like, I don't know anything, haha. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I hope I did good. Like, I really want the job there. And I just, they're gonna fire all of us, and then they're gonna have group interviews the week after when they never gave any of us the chance to actually prove ourselves. That's the most fucked up thing that anyone can do. And that is so shitty that they would even do that to anyone. So if anyone from Hollister is watching this video, I just want to say that's so fucked up. If I could go back, I wouldn't have even worked at Hollister, to be honest. They treated us all so bad, and we were never given the opportunity, and overall it was just a shitty job. That's my little rant on Hollister. I don't even know, like, I'm sorry. I probably missed out a few things and forgot because it was just a whole mess. If you ever are deciding to work at Hollister, just know that even if you do work at a good Hollister, you're not going to get that many hours, because apparently it has to be shared between the manager and the key holder, and then the employees that actually work there, they hardly get any hours. So just keep that in mind. And if you apply to the Hollister I worked at, Good luck, Charlie.